Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's just talk about a popular topic that you hear about every day. Let's talk about cancel culture. I've always been on the side of say whatever you want. If you're shocked, if you're offended, like Suicidal Tendencies said in that one song, if you're offended, maybe you need to be offended. I've liked comics like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Chris Rock. I even liked Andrew Dice Clay. People used to get all pissed off what he said, never understanding it was a bit. That's the whole thing. I used to like Howard Stern. He's still around. I don't really listen to him anymore. I could go on and on with comics that have said really offensive stuff, really horrible racist things, wild political stuff, just the worst things you can say. They've said it in funny ways. Dave Chappelle. But now it seems like comedians can't even make jokes anymore. People get all offended at jokes. People want to censor them. And there's this attitude that, well, they shouldn't be talking about that. If a comedian were to go up on stage and do 10 minutes of shtick on the transsexual community, oh my God, he'd be canceled immediately. People are canceled from a tweet, just one sentence of a joke. I don't understand why people have lost their humor. And if it's not funny to you, then don't listen. But they want to regulate what other people are saying. They want to be able to control other people's minds. What if cancel culture wins? What do I mean? Where they cancel everything. We live in a world full of censorship. You can't say this, you can't say that. Don't cross this line, you'll lose your job. You'll lose all your friends. You'll be shut out of the social media accounts. What's next? Maybe your credit card company drops you because they don't like people who have your beliefs or make jokes like that or make comments like that. Your bank drops you. Where does it stop, right? Cable company says we're not going to give you cable anymore. We heard you had a tweet that was rather rude. Where does it end? You know, it seems like we would end up living in an era of like the communist Russia with the KGB. And people had to whisper in public about certain topics because the next motherfucker over might be a snitch, might rat you out to the government, and the next thing you know, someone's coming to your door. I mean, are we headed there? Is that what people want? I don't think that people realize that hate speech and really awful shit is protected under your First Amendment right. In fact, the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, will represent Nazis and Ku Klux Klan members and people who are really probably awful people. But they have a right to say what they want to say, even if it's terrible. We have Holocaust deniers and all kinds of people who are, interested in all kinds of really weird things. They have a right to say that shit, and you have no right to stop them. You have a right to say your piece. This is all pretty obvious stuff, man. I think we all kind of get it, what cancel culture is all about. And some people are on the side of it. They think that it's great. You say anything that I don't like, well, fuck you. We're not taking it anymore. You want to fight? This is it. We're gonna dox you. We're gonna do everything we can to come after you. This is, I guess, what the Antifa mentality. And then there's what I think, honestly, are the more rational side, where they realize, sure, there's offensive stuff out there. Not everything that comes in my ears is gonna be sweet little sounds of birds and coochie coos and I love yous. There's going to be some shit that I hear over the course of my life that comes out of people's mouths that I don't like. That's terribly offensive, incredibly rude, outright lies. And so, Alex Jones is a character that comes to mind. He's made a career off of doing a bit of a conspiracy theorist character that he plays on his radio show. And I remember when Alex Jones first came out, at least 20 years ago. And he was rather entertaining. And you didn't know if he was really taking this stuff serious or not. It didn't matter. It was just kind of fun to hear these wild, outrageous opinions. A lot of this stuff that he was talking about with the secret societies and stuff. Sure, maybe it was bullshit. Who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe it's true. We don't know. That was kind of part of the fun about it. And whether there was factual or not wasn't able to be proven. And a lot of people disagreed with him. Well, he's been canceled for his political beliefs, for some of the stuff that he said about Sandy Hook, about various events, spreading conspiracy theories like he's done for 20 years as an source of entertainment. And people have canceled him somehow, just taking this shit too serious. Even if some of the things that he says are complete and total just internet fabrications, wild fantasies that nut jobs, tinfoil hat nut jobs come up with. Even if some of it is like that. Some of the stuff he says is right on time. But some of the stuff is just way out there. Ridiculous. Laughable. Literally. Fake news, as you want to call it. Outright fake. Complete and total fake. Should he be censored? Should he be kicked out of society? Should he not have a radio show? Should he not have 15 million listeners a day? He could be spreading lies. A lot of people have said, no, we don't want him on the air. We don't want, the internet servers are trying to drop him, and they're trying to get rid of him. Just like with our president, with Trump. All the social media canceled him for his opinions, his beliefs. He's running his mouth a lot on Twitter at midnight, coming up with some pretty wild shit. I didn't agree with a lot of it. But he has the right to say it, just like your cousin has a right to say their shit. Go on your friend's Facebook page and see what kind of bullshit they're posting. Why would Trump, an American citizen, private citizen, why would he be any different? He'd been doing that kind of shit since before the election, and people just couldn't take it. They wanted to get rid of him. Corporations wanted to get rid of him, deny him access to various things. A lot of people out there hated him so much they'd like to just send him to the moon. They'd like to see him die. All just because of the shit that he would talk. It's not like he raped your sister. It's not like he came into your house and slapped you around. He just said some shit you didn't like. And you're like, man, he's a disgusting orange Hitler or whatever people would call him. So what? So what? Who cares? I don't know. Maybe this is the type of thing just goes over people's head. Maybe everybody's against me. Maybe this is the new culture and I'm just a 50-year-old man who is not understanding how things are, that we've lost our freedom of speech and we never really had it to begin with, and the freedom of speech that we did have was offensive and we need to get rid of that. If freedom of speech means you can say everything, then fuck that shit. Fuck that kind of freedom. Nobody should have that kind of freedom. You should say what I think you should say. You should say sweet things, always. And if you don't, I'll run to my safe space and I'll cry, and I'll go on my computer and I will do everything I can to get your life ruined. And that's the way life should be. That's the America that we want. I don't know, maybe I'm just living in a bizarro world. They're canceling comics now. Comic books. Characters we've grown up with are now offensive. They gotta change them. It's not enough where they can just, you want to create a Justice League that's all transsexuals. Hey, do whatever you want. Create any superhero that we want. We need more superheroes. I'm getting bored with the same few, the same 4 or 5. Create 100 new ones and make them all weirdos. I don't care. But they're changing the ones that we grew up with. just because now people are extra sensitive over bullshit and they think that, well, this character can't be that way and this character can't. Let's rewrite the character. Well, they'll do this to books too. They'll do this to TV shows. They're doing this everywhere that you find. And to me, it just makes it seem like that we've turned into a nation of pussies. Little fragile, little snowflake pussy, little bitch motherfuckers who can't handle some shit that they don't like. I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I wish I had advice. All I can say is that if you're having issues with cancel culture, keep that shit, whatever you want to say, around your people, around your confidants, your associates. If you have a bunch of people on your Facebook page that you know are, or your Twitter page that you know are opposite you, real fragile little snowflake, woke motherfuckers, maybe you want to get rid of them. Have it so they don't follow your page. There's ways so that they can stop seeing all your posts. And that way, you don't have to worry about them ratting you out, getting you put in Facebook jail, or getting you canceled off of Twitter. Because it's always somebody snitching. There's algorithms and stuff where if you say certain things that it'll come back and haunt you. But a lot of times it's just somebody on your page that sees that post and they're just like, oh, fuck that, and they report it. And maybe that's what it is. We have to just all segregate into our own little tribes. And you can just say whatever you want around your people. And then when you get around others, you learn to just keep your mouth shut and be some little fake motherfucker. And that way you can keep your job. That way you won't have to get canceled out of social media. That way you can, Amazon is canceling motherfuckers nowadays. You can still function. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Thanks for watching.